Thank you for joining me on the newsroom. I am Jerisha Amarigo. The Inspector General of Police has decorated new Deputy Inspector Generals. The trio appointees include Tijani Baba, Zana Ibrahim and Moses Jitobo. The four spokesman and Commissioner of Police Frank Umba during the inauguration said their promotion and subsequent decoration became necessary following the retirement of the former DIGs from their respective geopolitical zones. He added that the elevation of the senior officers was in acting capacity. Now, for peace to return to the Shasha community following the clash between the Yoruba and the Hausa marketers in the market, Governor Seyi Makinde on Tuesday morning ordered the immediate reopening of the market. The order for reopening of the market was reached during a meeting with the Shasha community leaders held at the Western Hall Secretariat in Ibadan. And Governor Keze Ikpeazu has tasked security agencies in Abia State to commence the enforcement of the anti-open grazing law put in place since 2018. Ikpeazu gave the charge at the Michael Okpara Auditorium, Umuahia, while flagging off the statewide sensitization workshop against criminal activities in Abia communities. Governor Ikpeazu was represented by his deputy, Uzo Ude Chukwu, also requested the cooperation of other stakeholders to ensure the government fights and wins the war against criminality in the state. Ikpeazu also called on the people to always avail useful information to security agencies and government authorities, arguing that the era of not knowing who to report to has gone. The governor further assured that the government is committed to protecting the informants. And Australia will revamp up its COVID-19 immunization drive with more shots to be rolled out from next week. The Federal Health Minister, Greg Hunt, said this on Tuesday after a second shipment of the vaccine reached the country overnight. Now, total weekly doses will be raised to 80,000 next week from 60,000 doses this week, with the number expected to reach 1 million a week by the end of March when the CSL Limited begins to locally produce the AstraZeneca vaccine. Australia on Monday began mass COVID-19 vaccination for its 25 million population after the arrival last week of the first batch of the more than 142,000 doses of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccines. And the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, said the federal government had released a total sum of 1.74 trillion naira to ministries, departments and agencies for the capital expenditure as at December 2020. She also added that the government disbursed 118 billion naira for COVID-19 capital expenditure from the fund. According to the minister, this represents an 89% release of the capital component of MDA's 2020 budget. The minister disclosed this at an interaction sector with the leadership of the National Assembly on Monday on the status of the performance of the capital component of the 2020 budget. And Guinea will launch an Ebola vaccination drive after a flight delayed by Saharan dust storm arrived carrying thousands of jabs as the West African country fights to stamp out a resurgence of the deadly virus. The outbreak, declared last weekend as the first in the region since the 2013-2016 epidemic, left more than 11,300 people dead, mainly in Guinea, Liberia and Sierra Leone. The start of the inoculation campaign had to be delayed by one day after a plane carrying more than 11,000 vaccine doses were unable to land in Guinea capital Conakry due to a dust storm. Health authorities have said some of the doses will head straight to Nzerekore, the capital of Guinea's southeast forest region, where 5 people have recently died of Ebola. In the world of sports, the race to represent Nigeria in the basketball event of the forthcoming Tokyo 2020 Olympics Games is getting tough, as about 70 players are vying for the few slots available. The men's national team, the Tigers, won all their matches at the just concluded Afro basketball qualifiers in Tunisia to book a spot at the 2021 championship built to hold in Rwanda later in the year. Yesterday, the Nigerian Basketball Federation said 70 players, including those from the Afro basketball qualifiers, will be screened by the national team coaches when the Tokyo Olympics campaign begins in July. The NBBF Vice President Babs Gunade said the Tigers' performance at the Afro basketball qualifiers showed that Nigeria has a quality team that will put smiles on the faces of citizens at the Olympics. And that's all for now on the newsroom. We'll be back at the top of the hour for more updates. I am Jerisha Amaribu.